Hey there, gang. We are back in Brawl today, and I don't know, there's just something about the quality of the air. It feels like a storm's coming in. Let's play some head games. Welcome, friends and opponents, to Head Games Arena. My name is Jet, and today in Brawl, you guessed it, we are playing another Elder Dragon, but this time with a side of Storm, and by that, of course, I mean we are playing Prismari, the Inspiration. 7 mana for a 7/7 flying dragon that also has Ward pay 5 life, and the line says instants and sorceries you cast have Storm, which means you get a copy of that for every spell you've cast so far this turn. Storm is historically one of the most broken mechanics in Magic, so it's an enormous amount of fun to see it on Arena and to watch it play out because it does a lot of the thinky work for you, which makes it a lot easier to manage. You don't have to figure out how many that you have or keep track of your Storm. It just does it in the background. So this deck is going is actually playing no creatures at all. It's not entirely instants and sorceries, but there's an enormous amount of them because I just cut the creatures entirely. There's a few planeswalkers, a few artifacts. I think there's at least one enchantment, maybe only the one, but mostly instants and sorceries. So the goal here is to interact with what our opponent is doing, keep them from moving their game plan forward, and then eventually get to enough mana on board that we can cast our commander and then start to storm off, meaning we're going to cast a bunch of instants and sorceries, continue to get mana advantage, and eventually get so many cards and so much mana advantage that we just actually blast them in the face with a big spell, or copy a small damaging spell so many times that they lose the game. So as far as interaction goes, we've got an offer that you can't refuse, Into the Flood Maw, 3 Steps Away and Wash Away as additional counter spells, Burst Lightning, Flame Slash, Galvanic Blast, and Lightning Bolt all as early game removal spells, but Lightning Bolt and Galvanic Blast also doubling as finishers because at the end of the game, if you copy this 8 or 9 times, it actually just wins. Continuing with interaction, we've got Cyclonic Rift, Memory Lapse, Abrade, Prismari Charm is also an interactive spell. Slick Sequence is excellent because if you cast any other spells, this draws you a card and does 2 damage, so this can be interaction and possibly a finisher. Traumatic Critique's one of my favorite finishers because if you can get X up to 5, copy it 4 or 5 times, it's just lights out. Moving on to spells that are going to get us mana advantage at 3 manas where we really start to see those. Frantic Search untaps lands when you cast it. Flick a Coin draws you cards and make treasures, as does Seize the Spoils. We've also got Jeska's Will and Seething Song as rituals, but Jeska's Will also draws you additional cards. Multiple copies of this is just bananas. In the 4-drop spot, we've got all the cards that say draw cards and make treasures. Pirate's Prize, Big Score, Pirate's Pillage, Unexpected Windfall. These all draw you cards and make treasures. It's also important to mention Sorceress's Scheme here because this returns target instant or sorcery from your graveyard or exiled card with flashback you own to your hand and makes a red mana. So if your storm counts 4 or higher, this pays for itself and gets a bunch of cards back. It's also worth noting that flashback is in the deck, so for 1 red you're doing something very similar. You're essentially, if you're storming with this card, it's going to make a whole bunch of things that you already cast, give you the ability to cast them again. And at the very top end, we've got Blasphemous Act to deal with everything our opponent's doing, River's Rebuke to deal with everything our opponent's doing, and good old Force of Will for backup, just to make sure that our commander doesn't get removed while we are trying to storm off. So that's it. Hold the line, keep our opponent in check, eventually get enough mana that we can cast Prismari and a couple of other spells and create an inevitability where we're going to end up lightning bolting you probably about 10 times. It's an enormous amount of fun to pilot, although very tricky, because it's a gameplay style that I don't traditionally run, but it's a lot of fun to play over here on Arena because it does a lot of the thinky work. So before we head over into the gameplay, as always, please and thank you if you would like, subscribe, leave some comments down below. Would love to hear what you'd like to see us play on the channel, what you like, what you don't like. Very interested to hear what other commanders you'd like to see in Brawl. Thanks as always for being here. Let's play some head games. Alright gang, Brawl featuring Prismari the Inspiration. This is Game 1 against Professor Delianfell, so they are using our own favorite thing against us, which is totally fine. Okay, I think that this is keepable. Glimpse the Impossible is a really solid ramp spell. So they're going to be playing kind of removal tribal, so yeah, we're going to keep this, see if we can make it work. Our opponent decides to take their free mulligan. Let's see what happens from there. They get Gemstone Cavern on one, going down a card. We get to start on a fetch land, sacrificing to dig out. Almost always going to get the Surveil land on one to see what we're doing next. So do we want a 5th land right now? I think I'm actually going to dump that because we need to draw into some interaction, or we're probably not going to be able to keep up with the old professor here. What do we got? They get to start with 2 mana on one, and they don't do anything with it at all. Okay, so ponder first. What are they holding? Dark Ritual? So Flame Slash only hits creatures. Yeah, I think I'm... Oh, okay, so it's just like that. Yeah, that's fine. I will not shuffle. We will draw the Temple of Epiphany, and we're going to play that this turn. We're going to leave Flame Slash on top. They are... Okay, sure. We're not worried about Cling to Dust getting removed here. Not even a little. I mean, I would rather that they get rid of the 1 mana version of Cling to Dust now, because I don't want to run afoul of that later. The music here is a little loud, isn't it? That's a little funny. Enjoy the Amonkhet music. The dulcet tones of our opponent taking forever to decide what they're going to do. There's a Tyler's Provisioner. We're gonna cast a land, because I know how to play Magic. Yeah, we're gonna Flame Slash that, because it's just a pretty great ramp piece. And go. So our game plan here, to be very, very clear, is to set up a win in a single turn. That is absolutely what we are trying to do. Target opponent reveals each non-creature, non-land card. Yeah, okay. The correct move is Pirate's Pillage here. They may not know that. It's funny because the Brawl meta isn't a meta. They took the Planeswalker. That's fine. Umbral Collar Zealot for our opponent. Okay, we get Agna Kala down. We don't have a basic down, so it comes in tapped. So we'll play a mountain. We'll play Pirate's Pillage. We're gonna pitch the other mountain in our hand. Draw 2, make 2 treasures. So again, we're trying to set up a turn where we can cast our commander and immediately storm off. And if our opponent isn't able to play well, you know, we're going to actually be able to defeat them. So the One Ring is not as good in Brawl because they nerfed it a little bit. You have to pay 1 to activate it. It's still a very strong card. It just doesn't do exactly as much as you would like it to. We'll take 3 from the Umbral Collar Zealot. Okay. So we're gonna play Glimpse the Impossible here. That's going to exile 3 cards, and we can play them till end of turn. So I usually prefer to play this card and see if I can hit a land with it, or if there is something that's just really, really useful to hit. Now there's 2 things there to hit. I could play the land and the Mind Stone. So we lose our Time Warp forever at this point, which is not great. That's okay. So let's play the land. And I think we play the Mind Stone. I think that's better at this point. So we're not taking any extra turns because our only extra turn spell just got exiled. That's fine. We don't need extra turns to win. It just makes things a little easier. You got it. They're not putting us under a lot of pressure here, so I'm pretty okay with where we're at right now. Glimpse the Impossible is going to... Oh, it puts the Time Warp in our graveyard. I always forget that part. Okay, one ring does our opponent some damage. Are they thinking about clinging our Time Warp? They're going to draw 2 more cards with the one ring. They're going to think really hard about what to do next. Virulent Emissary is the Death Toucher that gains life when creatures enter. Our opponent gets in for 3. We're okay with that. So we've got a couple of plays here that I don't dislike at all. Yeah, they're trying to decide if they can manage to take the turn off here. Okay, so they're holding up removal for our commander is what they're doing at this point, and they're trying to make it so it's tougher for me to, they're trying to put pressure on. So I can play Agnikala to get the land down. It probably makes sense for me to just solve the equation here and get a removal spell, but unfortunately, the one that I'm thinking of... Actually, yeah, I'm okay. Yep, we're going to solve the equation. We're going to get Ashling's Command. And we'll just pass the turn. No attacks for us. I can remove the 2 creatures that they have on board at this point, so... And they're not playing counter spells, so they're not going to be able to stop me from doing this. Okay, one ring draws you 3 cards. Land for our opponent. What else are we doing? You gotta put some pressure on, because I'm gonna wipe your board. So the tricky part with Ashling's Command is I want to make treasures with it, but I'm not going to be able to. I think that the correct move is going to be damage and then drawing cards, because we don't have a lot of action in our hand right now, so we're really hoping to... Yeah, okay. They're going to get in their attack first, which I'm just not going to block. I don't know what's holding priority here. I mean, they do have an instant speed cling to dust. Yeah, no blocks. You got it. We'll go to 14. I'm trying to get them to do something else on their turn. If they're not going to do that, like they are just going to hold up removal. And so we need to draw into counter spells to make it harder for them to do that. It would make a fair amount of sense. Oh, it's my turn. Okay, yep. So Ashling's Command, we're going to do 2 damage to each of their creatures and draw a card. Yep. Ugh, I did it backwards. Okay. Draw 2 cards, 2 damage to your creatures. I almost biffed that up. Almost lost it right there. How do we feel about this? Sacrifice Virulent Emissary. So 2 Surveil 1. I mean, their 1 ring will actually eventually kill them, and if I draw the right card, I don't even need my commander. I can just dome them for the rest of the damage. They're going to have to take action at some point. Excellent. Okay. We will... I don't think it matters what kind of land we play, so we're just going to do that. I'm absolutely gonna hold until they try to do something, and then we'll figure it out from there. Because their one ring will slowly destroy them. That's kind of how it works. No attackers. Gosh, we got real boss fight music going on right now here at the Amonkhet. What are we doing? They're doing something on our end step. They're trying to decide if they want to cling to dust. Oh no, our extra turn spell. Oh, they can keep doing it. Boy, that's annoying. I didn't realize. Okay. Drawing some more cards, are we? What do you know? Druid class, sure. Put your shields down. It's safe. Nothing bad could happen. You gain a life. Nothing, huh? Okay. This is a remarkable game that's going to continue to go long here. Go ahead. Oh, they have to discard the hand size. That's no good. That's no good for them at all. Okay. I will cast Splatter Technique and draw 4 cards. Perfect. How much mana do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Yep. So we're just going to pass to end turn, and we're going to discard probably Preordain. It's probably the least interesting card in our hand. I'm actually hoping that they try to, like... I think that they're going to try to remove something. Okay. You got it. You got us. They're going to feel really bad about that choice here in a moment. One ring does 4 damage to our opponent. Are we just going to watch them destroy themselves with the one ring? It's really very flavorful. Sure. Our opponent's gaining life. Overlord of the Hauntwoods. You didn't play the full version. Okay. Alright, we're going to flash in Mind Splice Apparatus. They might have a response to this. They might have a removal spell for this, but that's okay. They have to discard the hand size. Yep. Okay. Here's my land for turn. So this is Brainstorm, right? Okay, so I've got lots of very good things to do. Trying to decide... Alright, what do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 lands, so I have 10 mana. I'm still not quite there. I'm pretty okay with where we're at right now. They're not putting pressure on us. You gotta remove Mind Splice? That's fine. I mean, they could have done it on their turn. I mean, I guess it's not great to put the shields down at that point, so... You got it. If it was a creature, you gain 3 life. Okay. Well, they're never going to gain that life because they don't realize it, but there are no creatures in this deck. Okay. Our opponent draws a bunch of cards. I don't have enough to just blast them, right? Okay. I might. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm gonna just try to kill them right now with Traumatic Critique. Oh, do I not have enough? Oh, I guess not. That's a bummer. I only had enough to do it for 9. Only had enough to do it for 9. We will discard probably a land, just because that's fine. They don't gain the life from virtue of persistence. They are now at 1. We never cast our commander, but... Oh, they're at 2 now. Play an additional land, go up to 3. Okay. Delian Fell takes you up to 5. Play an additional land, go up to 6, and then lose to your own 1 ring. There you go. You got it. I mean, just about any damage spell and they're done here. So I can flash back the critique. So unless they have a way to instantly exile, because this costs 4 when you escape it. Yeah, so we can Bloodstained Mire, which seems a little tedious at this point, but we're going to do it anyway. We'll get this. We're going to... Where is it? We're going to flashback Traumatic Critique. Do you have a way to remove this from our graveyard at instant speed? That is enough! We didn't even have to cast our commander. No storming, but we got there. Alright, game 2. They have a Tidus commander and a Cloud avatar. You think that they would spring for it like we did. Okay. So, tricky, right? Because there's only 2 lands, but I do have Galvanic Blast / back Galvanic Blast. So, they're gonna want to play creatures pretty fast here. So, let's... this is a little, what's the word I'm looking for? This is a little sketchy. I'm going to keep it. Let's see what they do. Okay, fetch land for our opponent on 1. Does it get an untapped land into a creature? It gets a Surveil land, which means we can take the turn off, which I like a lot. Temple of Epiphany, looking for a land. I think I have to put that on the bottom because we need actual lands. That is not good enough. Turn 2. Galagreeters is excellent. Okay, land really gets us there. That's terrific. So, Galvanic Blast the Galagreeter. We need to draw even more lands at this point. So there's a non-zero chance. Okay, Ancient Cornucopia is very good for our opponent. Pass. Okay. So here's what I'm thinking. I could cast Jeska's Will just as a ritual here to get Chandra out. Which I do kind of like. Yeah, let's get 4 red mana. And let's get Chandra Torch of Defiance. From there, we're going to exile the top card of our library. Wish really hard that it weren't a land. Ugh, don't love that. But now we've got Chandra as a creature removal or as... Okay, here's Tidus, gaining our opponent a heck of a lot of life. Talisman of Progress. Land is very good for us. Okay, so we just go ahead and remove their commander. And from there we pass. So we can Mind Splice on their end step, and then we're opening up to a fair amount of mana on our next turn. Are they going to recast their commander? It's not a bad play. There it is. 3 more life for our opponent. They do like that. And 2 mana left over. We're okay. Ozolith's very good for our opponent. We'll get Mind Splice Apparatus down. It's going to tick up. Boy, we really wanted a land here. Okay. Options. So, Splatter Technique only costs 4, so I can go ahead and Flow State here. Oh, I almost boned myself there because I need 2 blue for Flow State to work. And I do think I want Worn Power Stone here. So let's get our land for turn down. Let's make 2 red mana.
This'll be easy.
And Splatter Technique and destroy their commander again.
I need this.
Oh, it hits Planeswalkers? Oh, wow. I really messed myself up there. That was pretty awful on my part. I did not realize the Splatter Technique hit Planeswalkers. Big screw up for me. Ouroboros cool. Yep. Gives itself a counter, you got it. Mind Splice Apparatus ticks up again. Okay, so we can... Interesting. Alright, let's get our land down. I think we're going to play Worn Power Stone. What are they holding? Yeah, we just have to pass here. We're okay. We really are, because we're going to be able to overload Cyclonic Rift here in just a moment. And that's going to probably be game for them. Yep. Okay. 13. 11 damage coming in from the Ouroboros. And we're just going to let that go. I don't really have anything I can do there. Party Tree's very good. That's funny. Okay. So the problem is they are playing in a color that has counterspells. So if their last card is a counterspell, I'm in a little bit of trouble. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I can cast Prismari and do some stuff, but can I win? Okay. So if I cast Prismari, I have 2 mana left, and I get to Jeska's Will. They only have 1 card in their hand, so Jeska's Will makes me 2 red mana. And draws me the next several cards. So I think I have to... Yeah, I think I have to Cyclonic Rift before I do anything else. The question is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm wondering if I have enough to Mistrise Village and do it. Yep. Here comes the Moan. Very good for our opponent. Are they going to play everything out and let me do this without having to Mistrise? Well, because the cool thing is putting everything back in their hand. I don't think they can stop me here. Yeah, I don't think they can stop me. Okay. So they get to T-Pro. Alright. Let's see if we can make it happen. So, yep, Prismari. Alright, we're gonna flash back Jeska's Will. And we're gonna flash back... It's gotta be flow state, right? Okay, Jeska's Will for 1. Oh no! Oh no! T-Pro means we can't target them! Oh, I lose! Oh, I lose! Yeah. I feel very bad about that. T-Pro was exactly what they needed. On to Game 3, Elder Dragon versus Elder Dragon. Here we go. Lots of blue at the table. Probably not good for us, frankly. We can keep this hand. I don't mind this at all. Oh, I feel so bad about that last game. I really I made a couple of pretty big errors there. The first one being that I removed my own Planeswalker. Ugh, felt very bad. Okay, Botanical Sanctum for our opponent. No follow-up there. We'll get our Mysterized Village down and say go. What do you have on turn 2, friend? Is it a land ramp spell? It's a Fabled Passage. Okay. Okay. So we definitely try to stock up on 3 here. I mean, even in what might be a Spell Pierce, I still think it's correct. We'll get River Glide down. We'll try to resolve stock up. Oh, we do resolve stock up. Okay, land for sure. Sorceress's Schemes is definitely one of the kind of combo pieces, but I'm not... We need ramp. So I think I might actually take Consult the Stars here. Oh, the Pensive Professor is absolutely fantastic. So I could Burst Lightning that and hold something else up. I don't think I want to, though. I think I want to get Chandra down, because the upside is I remove their Professor, and if they don't deal with Chandra, I ramp. 4 mana for our opponent. What do we got? Compulsive Research draws 3 cards, discards 2 cards unless they discard a land. Oh, that's interesting. I thought it was the untap one. I guess I was wrong. Okay, so what am I doing here? I'm gonna play a land. I'm gonna make 2 red mana.
Yup, you're going down.
And I'm gonna kick Consult the Stars. Okay, seize the spoils for sure. We've got 2 more lands in hand, so Mind Splice Apparatus probably. Yep. Do we cast Seize the Spoils now? I don't think so. I don't think so. I want to hold Seize the Spoils because really any of the treasure generating spells are what you want to be able to storm with because they both draw cards and... Okay, Draconologist. Looking for a dragon. Untapped dragons you have hexproof. It's very cool. Dig through time. You got enough to cast it? Not yet. Okay. Alright, we very much... Okay. We very much want to Flame Slash that thing. Okay. The next spell you cast cannot be countered. This turn? Yeah. So I could cast my commander, but I don't think it's a great idea against that deck. So unfortunately, I think that means that I exile the top card of my library and deal the damage. And then I'm going to play Thundering Falls to surveil. We'll leave Memory Lapse on top because that gives me the ability to okay. I think we have to let this go. Yeah, let's see what they get from the Cascade. Cyclonic Rift targets are... Okay. I don't like that. Yeah, okay. Chandra comes back. Quandrix is down. Alright. Mind Splice Apparatus. Okay. I like where we're at a lot. We'll recast Chandra. I'll put 4 on Quandrix. I'll put 2 more on Quandrix. Goes back to the command zone, and we will stand still. I mean, we're online. I don't think they'll tap out here. Okay, I have to lapse that, right? Okay, I think we got there. Let's get Sulphur Falls down. We'll add 2 red. We will cast our commander. What's better first? Yeah, Seize the Spoils is probably better first. Okay, Seize the Spoils. Discard the land. Get a Storm. 1, 2, 3, 4. Excellent. Okay, we're absolutely cooking now. Okay, Brainstorm. Okay, we're putting back this and this. Doesn't matter. This is going to take a minute, so we're putting back this and this. It doesn't matter. We're putting back this and this. It doesn't matter. Frantic Search. Discard these 2 cards we don't care about. Untap, untap, untap. Okay, we need to full control here for a second. Oh, they don't want to play it out. Okay, that's how we do it. Creatureless win. Interesting. Game 4. Prismari the Inspiration against Gladiolus Amicitia from Final Fantasy... Hold on. 15? Okay. Galvanic Blast. Consult the Stars. I think we mulligan this. I think that is just too clunky. Our opponent's going first. This has... We have to keep this. I'm not going to 6. Alright. Exploration for our opponent's second land. They are moving quickly. Okay, so let's just play a mountain. That's fine. We're not really threatening anything. Are they going to play 2 more lands this turn? There's 1. Activating their fetch land, digging out a mountain or a stomping grounds. There it is. Mossborn Hydra for our opponent. Oh, wow. What an interesting thing they are doing here. So, I don't love that. That's going to be very aggressive. Let's sleight of hand. I will keep the wash away, but I think it's too late. Oh, wow, Scythe Cat. Super good. We're in trouble. They're going to run us. This is essentially a landfall deck, and they just got two of the most powerful creatures they could have cast. And we don't have creature removal that's fast enough to take care of them right now. Yep, doubles, doubles. They're now at 6. Farseek gets it up to 12. Unless I have a bounce spell, I'm pretty much cooked at this point. Actually, so it gets it another counter, and it gets it to 14. Gives it to the Scythe Cat. Okay. Surveil for our opponent. Yeah, we need a bounce spell or bust. Yeah, I think we're done. I think we're already cooked. Yep, that's it. That's it. That's all it takes. Very fast. Okay, on to Titania, Protector of Argoth. This will be our 5th game. Maybe our last, depending on how long it goes. Gosh, this is I am not getting interactive hands here. There's a lot of low mana value spells in this deck that are specifically there for interaction. This does nothing on the first 2 turns. It does have Resonating Loot in the deck and a stock up. I have Force of Will in my hand. I am gonna begrudgingly keep this. They played Delighted Halfling. Okay. Yeah, Utopia's Brawl's fine. Would have been much sadder for me. Okay. Wooded Foothills is going to get Thundering Falls so we can surveil. Looking for lands. Chandra's not going to do it. I cannot keep it because it is not a land. It's a great card, but it's just not going to do what we need it to do. Our opponent is also playing a fetch land. It's funny how much people prioritize these. And I don't have all of them, so I don't play that many of them. Yes, Spelunking's fine. Okay, we drew a land. I don't dislike that. So I don't have anything else to do, so I think this is where I get Multiversal Passage down and I just have it enter tapped. No, we keep Strike It Rich. Like, this is kind of a combo piece in this list, so I'm not going to cast it if I don't have to. Our opponent plotted an Outcaster Trailblazer. Okay. And that's a 4/2, right? So I can remove that with Slick Sequence if I'm very, very careful. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If I stock up, I have to discard to hand size, so I don't think I'm going to do that. Yeah, I think I'm just going to say go again. I have a couple of options here, and next turn I get to cast Resonating Loot. Sure. Okay. No, that's fine. Yeah, Trailblazer, it's fine. Ew, Haywire Might. Dark Depths. Haywire Might ruins my Resonating Loot plan. So what's the bigger problem here? This is kind of a problem. Because being able to counter what they're doing is important for what I'm doing. Because I can't cast Resonating Loot into a Haywire Might. But I can. I guess I could have Braid it. Lots of choices here. I'm a little paralyzed by choice. I'm a little paralyzed by choice here. Okay, let's Strike It Rich and make a treasure. And then I think we just say go from there. I was trying to game it last turn. You gonna blow up my treasure? Excellent. Yeah, let's take out your Outcaster Trailblazer. Sure. Worldly Tutor, you got it. That was a strange choice. To take out the treasure. I mean, I didn't exactly bait them with that treasure, but I'm glad that it worked the way that I wanted it to. How is this different? Unclear. Our opponent is done! Oh no. The Izzet mirror match, Prismari versus Vivi. I think they're probably advantaged here, if I had to guess. So they're on the play, and I don't think I can keep this without having a way to deal with Vivi in my hand. That's a little bit better, weirdly enough, because there is a land here. I'll keep that. Mountain for our opponent. We will play an island and pass the turn. So we'll probably brainstorm on their end step if we don't have to. That's interesting. Yeah, it looks like we're taking 2 from Emberheart Challenger. We'll brainstorm on your end step. Let's put back Blasphemous Act because we can't use it right now, and let's put back a land because it's kind of inconsequential. Yeah, let's put those 2 back. We'd rather draw the land first because we're definitely not casting Blasphemous Act this turn. Let's get another island down, Arcane Signet. This allows us to hold up Wash Away to counter their commander. I don't think they'll cast their commander here, but we're okay if they do. The next... Yeah, it's fine. Oh, it's my go? Easy! Oh, dragon versus dragon. Colorless Ugin versus our Prismari deck. Final match of the day. Okay, Memory Lapse is in our opener. Mind Splice is in our opener. I don't dislike any of this. Let's keep this hand. I probably, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think I'm going to lead on the island. I think I'm going to lead on the Multiversal Passage on red. Because I want to get that tap land out of the way. And then I can, I have pretty good mana at that point. Waste and Wayfarer's Bauble for our opponent. Okay, Sulfur Pulse. Passing the turn. Wayfarer's Bauble just gets them a land to their hand. I have to imagine, I don't think that there's great support for this color pairing here. They're going to get an, I'm guessing, oh, just another waste. Oh, it puts a basic land onto the battlefield tap, does it? Okay, that makes me feel a little worse. They got a little ramp going on here. All right, passing the turn. They're probably going to play a ramp piece here. 4 mana ramp rock. Yeah, we're gonna Memory Lapse that. Yup. Okay. Now we're cooking. Good enough. There's a ring. That's interesting. Yep, Mind Splice Apparatus. Okay, so, strange though it may seem, we're going to put that back in their hand. Okay, hold on. Can I do the thing? Alright, Jeska's Will gets me 5 red mana It's not quite enough. Okay. We're close. Gilded Lotus. They still have 5 cards in their hand. Okay. Land? Not land. Alright. Okay. Alright, so if I Jeska's Will, it gets me 5 mana, and then I have 2 more blue for Prismari, and then I get to cast Frantic Search and dig a whole lot. Okay. Let's try. We're going to try to storm off right now. We're going to get a red for each card in our opponent's hand. We're going to cast Prismari the Inspiration. We're going to consider. We do want at least 1 land. We do want a Pirate's Pillage. We don't need another land. Let's get our land down. Tap it for blue. Tap this land for blue. I'm actually going to tap that land for red. And then we're going to Frantic Search. Discarding Flame Slash and Consult the Stars. Untap, untap, untap. Discarding a land and a Glimpse the Impossible. Untap, untap, untap. Okay. We're fine. They're tapped out. And the last round. Red, red, blue. Resolve. We don't need the full control anymore. Discarding the lands. Untapping these. We will cast Ashling's Command. Drawing cards and making treasures. I'm so glad that we got to see this. We are drawing cards, making treasures, drawing cards, making treasures, drawing cards, making treasures. Yep. There we go. Okay, preordain. We are looking for the kill spell. They don't want to wait any longer. It's okay, I get it. Ah. All right, friends, opponents, how did we do today? We actually got more games in on camera than I expected to when I started recording today, because that first game ran very, very long, and I thought to myself, I'm only going to get like 5 or maybe only 4 games in, but we had a couple that went a little shorter. We got pummeled by a landfall deck that just had a really great draw and just ran us over. It kind of makes me realize I probably, if I wanted this to be a little bit more competitive on the Brawl ladder, I should probably be running some other spells that just do kind of like 3 damage across the board. There's a number of red spells that cost 3 that do that. So there's definitely some other reasonable choices I could have. I'm fairly sure the Aetherize is in the format as well, so that would probably be a good thing to consider just as interaction for what our opponent is doing. So I could probably up the interaction level of this deck. This was my first draft, and really we got a lot of great games in. If we're careful about how we play and we just interact with what our opponent is doing, the deck really does create inevitability. That last opponent, the person playing Ugin, they were such a good sport to let us kind of show off what we were doing. We didn't see the combo go all the way to the end because I didn't have the kill spell just yet, but I was getting really close. But that's what happens with a deck like this. You can't really expect your opponent to sit around and watch you play solitaire for the back half of the game. They know at some point that it is inevitable, and with the Brawl, at least the version of Brawl that I'm playing, the stakes are practically 0. Like, it doesn't matter if you win or lose, you're just playing the game, right? Obviously you don't like losing, it's a feel bad, but there's no actual stakes, or no, I'm not even playing on any kind of ladder. So, you know, people aren't going to sit around and watch you do that, but that's what the deck is trying to do. So we won a fair amount of our games today. I think we ended up with a 5-2 record out of 7 games. And the ones that we lost, we deserved to lose. One was just way faster than us, and one of them I punted pretty hard in a couple of ways. I'm not sure I could have won that Tidus match, but you know, I reflecting back on it, I think I could have played a little bit differently. So anyway, I just gotta say again, I've been having such a great time playing Brawl lately. It like really reinvigorated my love of Arena, because it kind of merged my love of Commander with my love of Arena, and so I'm just really having an enormous amount of fun playing in this format. And if you didn't already get it, I'm probably gonna play the last 2 legendary Elder Dragons from Secrets of Strixhaven in the upcoming weeks as we continue out Brawl before the next new set comes out. So if you're here sitting listening to me ramble at the end of this probably hour-plus long video, that's amazing. Thank you. And everybody says that you are just the best. I've heard it from every person I've talked to lately. You are absolutely the best. Thank you, as always, for being here. And as always, take care of your head. Hey gang, thanks so much for tuning in. Click that subscribe button to support the channel and check out our last Brawl video where we made history with Lorehold Reanimator.